It's been a good day, even though it's absolutely chucking it down with rain here at Elland Road this afternoon.
Right, Rio Ferdinand, as you've heard, is not eligible to play today after the transfer, so it hasn't been completed in time, of course. But Olivier Dacour, who was suspended on Wednesday, is back in the midfield engine room. So too Eric Bakker, who missed the Real Madrid match with a calf strain. And Jason Wilcox is in the Leeds starting 11 for the first time this season. Dominic Matteo was scheduled to play at left back, but he's not fully fit, so Ian Hart has been reinstated.
Well, we've talked an awful lot about the players that haven't been available for David O'Leary over the months of this season, Mark, but this gets a stronger and stronger side. That looks pretty set in stone, that back four at the moment. You talked about Ian Hart, maybe might have played, might not have played if Dominic Matteo had been fit. That might be a little jolt that Ian needs to get his season going again, to thought that he might not have been picked today, but it's a pretty good back four. It'll have to be against the two Frenchmen they're about to face. In midfield, again, it's a balanced midfield. A little bit narrow on the right side. We know that with Lee Boyer, who likes to tuck in, but he can give them width if required there. And Bakker and Dacour and Wilcox all creative. What they'll have to do, though, is score a goal. They cannot keep relying on the front two of Viduka and Smith. 16 goals between them, and the 20 league goals that Leeds have scored this season is an awful lot of goals. And it's a long time since another player from Leeds scored in a league match, and I think those two need a bit of support, but they'll be a threat as they were against Liverpool last time we were here.
Well, mixed news for Arsenal fans. Both Dennis Bergkamp and Freddie Ljungberg taken ill yesterday. Ljungberg did travel, but he was sent home this morning still suffering from a migraine, and you can add that to the continuing absence of David Seaman and Gilles Grimandi. But Patrick Vieira has made a quicker than expected recovery from his ankle injury. He's joined in midfield today by Lauren. Well, there is plenty of pace in the Arsenal attack with Sylvain Wiltord alongside Thierry Henry.
Yeah, Benny change, but a good Arsenal side nonetheless. For me, I'm looking forward to seeing the battle between Viduka, Smith, Keown and Adams. That might be, if it comes off, one of the highlights of the afternoon. It'll be physical, it'll be contested. Look forward to that very much. Midfield, well, not a problem with Parlour tucking in one for me. I think he's comfortable in there, Ray Parlour. Great news that Patrick Vieira's back for Arsenal fans. There was a thought that he wouldn't play at all, wouldn't be considered for today. He's back. And I just think in Perez, they've got a better one than Overmars. I think he's going to be better. I really believe that.
That's an interesting comparison, because Overmars did very well.
But I think he'll be better all round, Mark. He'll score goals, but he'll also contribute going back the other way, which I don't think Overmars ever did at all. And then Laurent, well, again, a talented footballer, but I think the best still to come from him. And is this a chance, I wonder, for Sylvain Wiltord to really say, I'm the right man to partner Thierry Henry. Henry will play game in, game out when it's important for Arsenal, but who will partner him when it really matters? Will it be Wiltord? Will it be Kanu? Will it be Bergkamp? Wiltord has a great chance to stake a claim for that place today.
Well, they've already seen their new player, the Leeds fans. Rio Ferdinand, who will incidentally wear number 29 here, despite his old West Ham number 15 being available. He's asked for a change. He will certainly be known for some time, you feel, as the £18 million man. Still only 22, just turned 22. And he has rewritten an old expression, if you can beat them, join them. Having been in the West Ham side that won here. It's not been a good time for Leeds. Beaten here in the Champions League, beaten here in the Premiership last weekend. Can Tony Adams lead Arsenal to visiting success for this London club? Champions League defeats have concentrated the minds of both Arsenal and Leeds. They need now to prosper in the Premiership to ensure the bonus of European football next season. And this match, well, it's one of the season's toughest challenges for both clubs, and it comes at a time when neither has been in tip-top form. November, if you look at Arsenal's records over the last 3 or 4 seasons, it's not been a particularly prosperous month in any of the recent campaigns for them. And Leeds come out tonight with just 1 win in their last 10 games in all competitions. And we were here for that one, that thriller against Liverpool some 3 weeks ago.
Pretty good game for them to focus on, Martin, if you want to get back into the swing of things in the league. Leeds against Arsenal, massive game.
Olivier Dacour. And a conversation I would suggest would be in French to Patrick Vieira at the end of the line. But it's time for the talking to stop from the players. This is a big chance for them to get back on track at the expense of a major rival. Because today, in West Yorkshire, it is Leeds United against Arsenal, and it's coming up for you live.
Hello, I'm Phil Jupitus, and this is my first live video.
I got an iMac. I bought it off my mum because she bought it and she was trying to use it to get the hair off her legs. And
So, never mind the rest. I'm live and I'm yours on video now.
please buy this.
From December the 1st, the way you surf the net will never be the same again. Because with BT Surf Together, evening and weekend internet calls won't cost you a penny. You just pay an extra £5 a month on line rental. To find out more about BT Surf Together, phone now on 0800 05 5555.
Connect the digital experience of DVD with Sony's latest picture and sound technology. The Sony DVD home cinema experience. It stays with you.
Open your eyes to a world unlike anything you've seen before.
Merry Christmas!
Jim Carrey is the Grinch.
The new Amstrad emailer is the simple and cheap way to send email from your home phone. You can send SMS text messages to mobile phones too. There's no logging on. It's as simple as making a phone call. At just $79.99, it's a must for every home. The Amstrad emailer, getting Britain emailing.
The winter of worldwide cricket continues. In Pakistan, the first test saw England, against all expectations, find courage in the line of fire against the feared spin bowlers. Then, Sack Lane turned up the heat to claim 9 wickets and level the game. Now, the temperature's raised with everything to play for. The second test in association with Blue Square, Wednesday morning, 4:45, exclusively live, Sky Sports 2.
So it's time for Leeds United against Arsenal, a Sky Sports production available in widescreen, Dolby surround sound, and it's interactive for Sky Digital viewers. All the usual features there: stats, highlights, full screen camera angles, player cam, and of course Fan Zone. That's on Sky Digital channel 404. Our match commentators, Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Well, whatever happens here today, David O'Leary will keep it in perspective. He's just got here in time for the match. He's been in Dublin for the last couple of nights. His father, Christy, has undergone major heart surgery. And David asking me to express his gratitude to Hugh McCann and his medical staff at the Mater Hospital. And we're very pleased to do that. One or two coming back for Leeds. You've heard all about their injuries. Jason Wilcox, who broke his ankle training in Barcelona back in September. Well, Leeds down in 13th place at the start of play. A win today would take them into the top half with a game in hand. Arsenal still second, but in danger of watching Manchester United disappear over the horizon. There's still a lot of football to be played in the Premiership this season. So Leeds get underway. It's been strong winds and driving rain in West Yorkshire today. And driving forward here is Alan Smith, an early test of the concentration of Keown, who's just been harassed and hustled, and he didn't like it too much, and Leeds have got a corner inside 20 seconds.
So I think early on in a match like this, with the conditions that they are, any ball that you can nick down the channel like that and get the back four turning is a decent ball.
It's a corner that he deliberately aimed deep for Bakker, but credit to Wiltor, he spotted the idea and helped Arsenal cope, but they have to turn again, and Smith chases again, and Keown tries to get into control again. Smith won't let him settle. A little taster of things to come. Wilcox. Parler can't get it away. Sliding in was Adams, and now Arsenal can get forward for the first time with Ray Parler. Great challenge by Lucas Radebe. Lauren was actually trying to play it, I think, across to the left-hand side where he spotted Henry. Miskicked. Here is Wiltor. Henry coming into the middle now. Prodded out by Woodgate, not very far. Wiltor keeps it in. Here's Luzhny, still preferred to Lee Dixon at right back. Luzhny again. And Smith still full of eager early work here, was just a bit late in challenging Luzhny.
Yeah, not a lot in it, but he never gives anyone a moment's peace, Alan Smith. One of the pluses in his play is that any centre-back knows that they get the ball and they want to get time. They're not going to get it if that young lad's around.
To be able to let it run, it's great credit to the Leeds captain. He's been honoured by FIFA. He's got an award to receive next month for fair play, for his work in helping underprivileged children in the game, and also for combating the effects of racism in football. Well done, Lucas. Headed on by Viduka. Hart. Dacour, who was badly missed here on Wednesday against Real Madrid when Leeds conceded 2 goals from the dead ball situations, a short corner that they didn't defend well, and their own free kick 70 yards away from their own goal that they allowed to run into the path of Roberto Carlos, who set up a counter-attack, and suddenly it was 2-0. And here's Pires, testing in the same part of the pitch really as Real Madrid used to get that second goal. But a Brazilian left-back, of course, have faced them today, and very much in form, Silvinho. Here is Arsenal's second highest scorer now with that goal in their Champions League game in defeat in Moscow. Bowyer offside.
How often have we seen it, and how more than many times will we are? Tony Adams comfortable in the knowledge that they've got a good line, but look, Luzhny just manages to go out, Mark, and he holds the line. But look at Tony Adams, up goes the arm. If there was any doubt, it's a good trigger for the linesman. Knew exactly what he was doing there, the Arsenal skipper.
Dacour. Clever footwork from Wilcox. Now Luzhny. Arsenal won both matches between these two last season. That's Lauren. Referee is Dermot Gallagher, who's going to do more than have a little talking to. It's a yellow card.
He just comes in rather late. I think early in the game, Dermot Gallagher not want to reach for the cards too quickly, but
there are a number of of red cards in the Premiership yesterday, which is against the recent trend. Ian Hart, who was on the receiving end from Lauren, was sent off in this fixture in April when Arsenal won comfortably, as they did at Highbury. Thierry Henry was conspicuous in both those victories. In fact, he made Radaby look more awkward than I can remember any striker doing. Savinho with the throw. Kelly is back at right back today, played in a more advanced role on the right-hand side on Wednesday, ahead of Danny Mills. Perez. Silvinho. From Bakker. Moya feeding it into the feet of Smith. His layoff goes astray to Henry, and that could spell trouble for Leeds. Wiltor for Lauren. Henry's gone near post. Made initially by Radaby, and then Hart trying to add extra interest to Leeds defending. Wilcox. Now Bowyer. Arsenal stepping up. And there's no flag this time. It's Smith. Goalkeeper's come. And Alan Smith has, in the end, fallen between the two stools. He did have a supporting player, but he didn't hit the target or his teammate. Well, he's got to do one or the other here. He runs across the line, trying to keep himself onside. It's borderline again. I think he's probably just off for me. But anything square. Well, Buildup might well have been offside, but he certainly would have been rolling it in, and he didn't get the chip anywhere near right. Manning got caught in no man's land. As we've mentioned time and again, this Leeds side, apart from Buildup, are pretty short on goals. And maybe just a touch short in confidence. Well, Buildup grabbed the final two against Charlton, hit an equaliser at Bradford City, all four here against Liverpool, and notched Leeds' only goal at Stamford Bridge recently. The last 8 scored by Leeds in the league, all from the Australian. And Arsenal have rather grown to depend on Thierry Henry. Checking over the last year, Bergkamp 4 league goals. Kanu 5, no one more than 5 except Thierry Henry, 25. That's out of a total of 70 in 12 months, going back from today. Well, Arsene Wenger's main concern, listening to him, Martin, over the last couple of weeks, is the lack of actual opportunities they're creating. I don't think a manager or a player would worry. The strikers worry too much. The chances are coming along your way. You know you'll convert them eventually. His concern, listening to him, and the last couple of weeks and over the last few games, has been that we ain't created enough chances. He makes those comments with praise for the Premiership and praise for Derby and Everton in particular, the two last opponents for Arsenal in the league against him. They both scored in both those matches. So this beginning by Leeds. Dacour back to course by the usual exuberance from the Ellen Road faithful. Parler, Turkey for Arsenal. And Woodgate knocked it down into an area where Arsenal might just seize possession again. But Henry just felt, I think, momentarily he was short of support. Silvinho. Perez. Nice touch back to Silvinho. In goes Lauren, finding himself more central at the moment, and the sent tumbling by Woodgate, who points at the ball.
So I have to say that the way the ball changed direction there, you must think that Woodgate got a hold of that, and a huge chunk of it. Lawrence tried to take it past him. Watch the way the ball changes direction there, comes back towards the core. And all that signifies is that Woodgate made a pretty good challenge and a pretty good tackle.
Well, inside the opening 10 minutes, a fortunate free kick maybe for Arsenal then. And Henry and Silvinho are over it.
Oh, it's wet, it's horrible. Hit the target.
pushed out by the goalkeeper. He did just what Andy was expressing, made Robinson make the save.
Well, especially when it skips off the ground just in front of the goalkeeper, it's made it doubly difficult, Mark. He's just shoveled it out. You know, you need a little bit of luck as a goalkeeper there. You need a white shirt to get it, and a white shirt did.
Adams just wheeling and twisting and turning. Woodgate trying to keep tabs on him. And the two exactly where the ball arrived. It's a good contest. And Jonathan Woodgate in the end shaded it, and Leeds break out. Bowyer. That came off Parler, and Arsenal, plenty of numbers back there. Almost a case of too many cooks. There was a player on the right-hand side who was disappointed he didn't get the ball for Leeds. Then it was Alan Smith. Still right, but there's no one tracking Bowyer. Skimmer from the midfield player.
That's a decent strike, but the break earlier was the one. Should have gone right, Martin. Alan Smith in absolute acres. Would have started the better of the two teams, Leeds. I don't think there's a doubt about that.
By Vieira, his fitness or lack of it will be heavily scrutinised, I'm sure, from the Arsenal bench. He's very keen to play. Trained yesterday for the first time since his injury on international duty, which was a week ago last Wednesday in Turkey. And Arsenal won, where France won by 4 goals to 0, even though the Arsenal man had to come off early in the game. Now Wilcox. Paducah plants it down cleverly. Supported by Hart. Arsenal closed in around him.
Brilliant play from Vieira. That's what you call great midfield play. Sensed the danger, got back in, aided with Tony Adams, were able to snuff out the run of Ian Hart.
Wiltord. And there were 3 challenging him. And the numbers paid off for Leeds. So often David Seaman and Nigel Martin have been the goalkeepers in this fixture. It'll be interesting comparison today between the two so-called stand-ins. Manninger, of course, a full international, and Paul Robinson's been in the full England squad in the last game. He's the worried keeper at the moment. It's gone out.
Well, that's a strange decision for me, Martin. You see the linesman looking right across the line, give nothing. He must be in line with it. It might well have gone out, but the referees from the edge of the 18-yard box have decided this has gone out. And I'm not so sure he can give that Dermot Gallagher from this position. Linesman's flag certainly didn't go up. What a run, but that's the danger when you play against Henri Martin. Woodgate did well to stay with him. He has got pace and he likes to drift wide and then test centre-backs.
Dacour. Lucian reaching it for Arsenal. Nicely killed by Lara. Wiltord is voicing a few frustrations about not being in the starting lineup on a regular basis. Well, it's a big chance for him to impress today. Do well away to Leeds United. 20+ points. It's Premiership points that Arsenal need. After a couple of recent lapses, Manchester United keep on winning.
When you think about it, it's a pity that Rio Ferdinand hadn't signed and could play here. We'd have had the old guard of Keown and Adams for so many years, and perhaps against the future from Woodgate and Ferdinand. Now that would have been something to look at.
This is Dacour. Rio Ferdinand did play against Arsenal recently for West Ham, and scored an own goal, so maybe he was quite happy. The medical took a bit longer, or the negotiations pushed it beyond the Friday deadline for being eligible to play today. Dacour. Back up. A bit narrow for Leeds, but they've got it into a front man, Smith. He's looking for his partner, Viduka.
They've had some good situations, Leeds, Martin, and, you know, through no fault of their own at times. They just haven't been able to select the right ball in the last third.
Wiltor runs through to Woodgate. Evans was really committed. Viduka was just waiting a little bit. Henri. Radaby at his back. Parla. And Bowyer came back ostensibly to help out, but in the end almost hindered Robinson. Had to really stretch to kick it away.
I mean, they're so close together. Why on earth he's doing that? Lee Bowyer, great cover. Wonderful run back in to help Jonathan Woodgate. So close, he maybe felt he should have dealt with it himself.
Perez. Kelly can let it run, and just going back to that earlier incident, Andy, I was talking to an old pal of yours yesterday, Neville Southall, who believes that goalkeepers, now that the 6-second rule is in place, should be allowed to pick up the back passes again.
He's got a point, probably.
Yeah, it's an interesting area for debate. Maybe we'll get Nigel Martin on that later. But they do get injured kicking more, as Nigel did himself, and there's Robinson having to kick from the floor. Lauren. There would be a corner, but in fact the challenge was so good from Wilcox that it bounced back into play Leeds' way momentarily. Pierre had a look round to see what was on and realised that he could go on a few strides himself. Pires, supported by Silvino. Problems for Kelly here, but Bowyer's there to help.
A little too early.
Feels the handball. Adams played it against Viduka. See the distance between the front men and the midfield men for Leeds. Sometimes Viduka and Smith are rather left to their own devices, but the supporting cast are much closer now. Hart. Backer. Actually had more time than he realised. Needed to be told that, maybe. Here's one for Henri to chase. Played forward by Vieira. Henri against Woodgate. Wiltor's there as well, and unmarked here is Pires. Robert Pires. Well, it was a good idea. He just feinted to shoot to carry it forward, but the touch was a bit too strong in the end.
I don't think conditions help when the pitch is pretty greased up. On the normal surface, the touch would have been a good one, and it just got away from him a touch. That's a big, real threat. Arsenal breaking with pace.
Lara. Now Keown. Given no time by Dacour. It's a free kick though in favour of Patrick Vieira. Pires. Lovely change of direction again. Henri. Needed to be absolutely spot on to reach Sylvain Wiltor, but again the potential in Arsenal's counter-attacking evident at Ellen Road.
We talked about lack of support at times that maybe the Leeds front two get, and a lot of it is to do with the work rate of the quartet that play in midfield. They don't half get back, and you know their defensive responsibilities. Lee Bowyer moments earlier and Jason Wilcox a couple of minutes earlier. They do get back and help full-backs, and so do the centre two. And at times when you break quickly, you do isolate the front two.
Dacour. Pires. Oh, Silvino had the gamble that it would be worked forward and stayed forward, but the ball was just too long. Never Evidence of a growing understanding, though, between Silvino and Pires on the Arsenal left. Adams looking right. Luzhny. Good climb by Hart. To Adams. And now Silvino. Milito's ahead of him down the touchline. Pires. Again, they're playing a back four. A lot of speculation here today. How will they involve Rio Ferdinand? Will it be a three with Woodgate and Radebe? So what will that mean further forward in the team? Certainly talking to the Leeds manager earlier in the season, I know he'd love to play Viduka, Smith and Kewell as a front three. And Kewell edging towards fitness, not been seen, of course, this season. Wiltor, here's Pires for Arsenal. We've got four forward here. Delaying tactics from Leeds United. Pires picking out Luzhny. Wilcox had to hurry that away from Lauren. Arsenal have it back with Luzhny. And the flag has gone up against Henry. Gallagher momentarily had turned his back. Wiltor is the subject of our player cam for Sky Digital viewers. That's on channel 404.
Hold your ground! Hold your ground!
Leading on by Hart. He just turn and he didn't panic in the situation. Been around a long time in top-class club football, if a relatively recent recruit by the Gunners, Oleg Luzhny. Wilcox. Halfway through the first half at Elland Road, Leeds United 0, Arsenal 0.
There's been nothing in it, in all honesty, Mark. There's hardly been can't remember too many chances. Possession split right down the middle in this match so far.
So Dacour. Dacour's energy has got the ball to Viduka, who was fouled, and Leeds from that get a free kick and a chance maybe to push forward one or two more players, although not really doing that. Eventually now Backer's set off. It's left a space that Bowyer could fill.
I have to say, Lauren's very lucky he didn't get booked. I mean, the referee's just going to have a word with him now, Dermot Gallagher. I think when he stood about 5 yards away from the free kick, he really is fortunate. You know, and he's been booked. I mean, it was unbelievable stupidity from him. It really was.
Yellow card to his name already. He is taking a risk, but it's a free kick that Arsenal got to try and defend here. Backer! His height. You think maybe he might use to greater effect in the Premiership.
Difficult though here. He's under good pressure. They just did enough. Martin Keown's got enough pressure around Eric Bakker. They would have known that he was a threat. They would be conscious of getting pressure on him. That's what Keown did. Didn't win the header, but he did enough to stop Bakker getting a clear header at it.
He's only scored in one Premiership game. That was against Wimbledon when he got 2. And the error. The game's gone on. Whether the referee is aware of that, and now Keown. An interesting one here because Dermot Gallagher was wanting play to come back for a free kick. How much of a view he got of it. I'm not sure, but enough to take some action here. Vieira's got something to say. Andy.
Well, I mean, Vieira got tangled up in midfield, and the referees seem to be looking at that. And whether he looked round, saw the incident with Mark Keown, or whether he just turned on the noise from the crowd. There's a huge reaction from the crowd here at Ellen Road. I have to say, Martin, I was looking at the incident, previous one. It's a yellow card. You can have a look at it again. That's the first one. Now, that's where the incident happened, and they got tangled. It was much to do about nothing. You can see the referee. Now, he's not really taking any notice of this, but just after that, you can see the referee's looking away. It's a horribly clumsy tackle from Mark Keown, at best.
Free kick has been put midway between the two incidents. Sense of compromise in the air here. Ball's in the air from Hart's free kick, and that was the one that sort of position where Roberto Carlos got possession on the far side on Wednesday, but Leeds battling for this one and keeping it alive from their point of view. Smith, Wilcox.
Oh, what a chance. What a chance. The arms go up again for Arsenal, looking for offside. It was a really clever header from Alan Smith.
Here's Larry and Wiltor. Henri knew where Parlour was. It was a difficult pass to try and manufacture. Smith. Keown again.
Well, I have to say, as a neutral, Mark, the game needed that incident, because all of a sudden it was just ticking over and doing no more than that. Suddenly it's got a little bit of life in it.
Keown certainly got to the ball this time. He's got to be careful, as has Lara.
Well, the chance came to Jason Wilcox, the best chance of the match. And watch the lovely cushioned header here. Beautifully cushioned, he's not offside. Oh, and it's a pretty feeble effort.
Viduka. For Bowyer to hit first time, it was measured, the pass, crafted by Mark Viduka, but Bowyer had to shoot under challenge.
But not as easy as I said again, the conditions. This ball's going to skip off the surface to Lee Bowyer. That makes it difficult. And look how close Perez got. Talked about him getting back defensively. This is the other header. This is a chance. He has a look. And I think, you know, a lot of goalkeepers, Mark, would have come out and tried to challenge Wilcox. Manninger made his decision. My goodness, it was the right one in the end. Stayed where he was.
There is only a telling fact. Almost half an hour here. Wiltor able to get a bit closer, and Robinson was diving. He was really just covering himself, but the shot didn't need covering.
Well, anything that from any distance and hitting the target has always got a chance. Didn't quite catch it all of it, I didn't think. The corn might have just nibbled at his heels.
That's come off Backer's boot, so Robinson has to defend the potential of the ball going behind for a corner. Luzny. So possession pretty even, but the effort's a goal coming from Leeds United. In the first third of the game. High-profile clash, as it always is, between these two clubs. Leeds have picked such a succession of big games, and as I said at the start, one win in their last 10 matches in all competitions, but they've been matches of enormous challenge for David O'Leary's young team.
I'd rather be playing them than not, Mark. I wouldn't say that. People might
I don't think they're complaining.
No, I'm sort of saying you'd rather be involved in those matches, and part and parcel of how good you're going to become is coping with them. These teams have got big enough squads now, make no bones about it. Enough squad members to cope with one or two injuries and playing a couple of games a week, albeit extremely high-profile ones.
Wilcox got it through to Smith. Throw in from Luzny. Parlour. Lara. There's a great deal of movement to help him there.
Now, Arsenal's passing hasn't been great, I have to say, the first half hour of this match. You have to give Leeds a bit of credit for that, the same as they did against Liverpool, Martin. And every time you see the Leeds side play, when they don't have the ball, they do work extremely hard at stopping the opposition playing.
Smith. That was a great win for them against Liverpool, not just the nature of the match and the excitement of it, but to beat a championship challenging club here at Ellen Road, something they couldn't do last season. Arsenal won here, Manchester United won here, Liverpool won here, Chelsea won here. They could beat Arsenal today to add that to the Liverpool win, even though they're coming from mid-table. They have this match in hand, and they will be getting a better complement of players back. Well, of course, there's a game going on at St James's Park. Newcastle 1 up in the first half through Solano, and here they are going 2 up with a super break from Kieran Dyer. And it's looking like another away defeat for Liverpool. Pires.
Good defender. Top class Radaby. Didn't touch the ball at all, Martin, did he? But he just assessed the run. Didn't look to play offside. But thought, well, I'm in front of you, I'll just stay there.
Beyond Bakker, but help was at hand through Woodgate. Vieira. Henry. Rather setting off ahead of the players. Lauren got the ball to dictate the direction of the pass to draw Radaby out of the centre. A bit of a clumsy challenge. And the captain, Olivier Dacour, is now the subject of the player cam. Channel 404, Sky Digital viewers. Vieira. Silvinho. Woodgate going with Henry. The gap behind him filled by Bakker. Now Smith. Prepared to take on Keown. Real youth versus experience. And with Keown already carrying a yellow card, there's a lot of value in more senses than one in Smith adopting that sort of policy. Henry from a little roll ball into the penalty area from Robert Pires.
Well, I talked about Radaby not stepping out, Mark, but look what he does. He does exactly that, and that allows Henry to get ahead of him. A real surprise there. Looking to play offside in a bad area, Lucas Radaby, and he almost paid for it.
Boga. Vieira. Shall we say was late removing a leg.
Well, they contested it, let's put it that way.
Keown. Parler heard that blind and Mark got to it. Bakker. Think of it again, but Bow's got the better of it. Out came Adams. Made a solid block. Arsenal needed one. Kelly. Back comes Lauren. He cleared the penalty area, and it's played on by Vieira as he was challenged. The ball was off the ground, and Wilcox was the culprit for Leeds.
The touch late, Jason Wilcox chasing back in, trying to get there, catches him just below the knee.
Well, the Masters football for you nostalgic football fans, the Home Internationals version tonight at 6, Sky Sports 3, well worth a watch. And the Worthington Cup action coming up next week, Sunderland against Manchester United on Tuesday, Sky Sports 2 at 7:30. Woodgate. ball here.
Brilliant again. Tell you what, Arsenal do at times, that back four, particularly the two centre-backs, they give a great example of how to defend their 18-yard box mark. There's a problem right in front of you and I.
Hart and Lauren.
I have to say, I'm not so sure what's on here. I see Lauren chasing back. Just catches him innocently, I think, but both have taken a whack. Whether he well, it looks like they've just turned his ankle.
Well, Hart was certainly a player who was caught as he played the ball forward, and now Lauren damaged himself. I'm not quite so sure whether he might have been a bit fearful that any contact with a yellow card could have had serious effects, but Harry Lewin is out there. Have a look at it.
Well, he kicks the ball, and as he comes through, you can see it's the kneecap that actually hits him. There's absolutely no intent there. It's a pure accident.
And it certainly was a knock on Lauren's knee. Fourth official there, Peter Jones, just supervising the return of Ian Hart, and Lauren won't be far behind.
I think what typifies the game, when you talk about wide players who maybe create, when you talk about Boya, Wilcox, Perez and Lauren, most of their good play, Mark, is taking place defensively. I think that's typified this game. Not too much has happened for that quartet, where they might get a bit of space wide in the attacking areas.
Well, there's a few jeers, but we've seen some mistakes by Premiership defenders this season for not doing what Tony Adams did then.
Well, you get back, organise your defence, and then defend.
Radovic. By Will Tour. Henry deciding to have a chase, and Robinson just coming out of his area. Kelly. Bowyer. Arsenal have won it well forward. Woodgate, again, no nonsense defending. Adams' header has made Manninger change direction, but he stopped the corner. Norrie. Trying to slide it through for Will Tour. He's a bit over-deliberate, and in the end, foul by Henry. Hart. And Arsenal have had a long trip this week to Moscow, a 3-hour time difference there. Return on Wednesday night. And that might tell later on in the day. They'll be grateful for the game being switched to from Saturday to Sunday. Perez. Interception by Dacour. Bowyer. Silvino skipped past Dacour that time. Wiltor. Henry. And this is Silvino. Robinson coming out. Silvino again. Wiltor.
Time. I think he hit this too early. I think he's got time to take it. It's a great run from the little Brazilian. Wonderful play, and he's fed through brilliantly here. This is great goalkeeping. He knows he can't make a mistake, the young goalkeeper. Gets the ball, but look at the time he's got, man. Take a touch, slot it in. He just doesn't realise. He scuffs it horribly. What a golden opportunity that was for Arsenal.
Back header by Viduka, tidied up by Keown. 6 minutes to go to half-time. Two teams who've been short of recent victories. You do feel the first goal carries a little bit of extra weight here. And a big boost for the side that gets it. Backer. Dacour. Now Hart. Luzhny from behind. Yellow card for the Ukrainian.
This has pretty much typified the game, hasn't it? You can't argue with that booking right down the Achilles of Olivier Dacour. That's one of the poorer tackles we've seen today, so there's no doubt he warranted a yellow card. It's been a little bit scrappy at times again, Mark. I think that's the importance of the game. You have to realise, I think both these teams know the importance of winning this, particularly Arsene Wenger's side, who, as you say, don't want to see Manchester United disappear over the horizon, so to speak.
Spotting Gary Kelly, who's never scored for Leeds at Ellen Road. Oh. Well, that's surely one of his better efforts down the years on his home ground.
Well, that's of Ian Hart proportions, this strike. Look how far out he is, and you can always tell how worried a goalkeeper is, because instead of standing and watching it, he's scrambling across goal. Wonderful strike.
Scored twice for the club for the record, at West Ham and at Southampton. And goes Wiltor. Now, when the extra players are going forward here, well, Keown started to go, then realised it wasn't going to be just tossed into the penalty area, so he's gone back. They'll work Leeds around here if they can. Smith, by going for that, made Adams get a touch. Leeds get the ball, get the throw, a chance to push up.
Or is it the ball wobbling about in the air? That new ball, everyone's complaining about moves
as well.
We talked about that maybe defenders don't like it when it's been launched 60, 70 yards. Right, look at that, brilliant.
Adams missed kicks. Can Viduka reach it? Well, he might have done, but for Martin Keown. And the handshake. Thanks, pal, says the skipper.
Well, that's what they're all about, those two, isn't it, now? So one makes a mistake, the other's on hand to mop up for him.
But Leeds have got a corner. Backer. Back by Hart. Woodgate's at the far post. Very close to it now. Tony Adams has got something to say. There was some cries for handball in the thick of the action there.
Yeah, I think Vieira's arm goes up, but as this is tossed along, I don't know what Tony Adams is complaining about, Mark, because Woodgate, for me, gets up really early. This is it. It's a foot away when it smashed against the arm. I don't think that's a penalty. But the header from Woodgate was pretty impressive and very, very close. Tony wouldn't be Tony if he didn't complain when losing a header.
On there by Lauren, threat to trouble Leeds. Cleared by Kelly. There goes Luzhny. Wants to let it run. Radebe. Backer. In the dying minutes of the first half at Elland Road, in something of a war of attrition. Certainly plenty of talent on view to change the goalless scenario. Dacour, Wiltor. Now Vieira. Arsenal so pleased to have him fit today, and no sign of that ankle injury. Wilcox. Viduka. Jonathan Woodgate very quickly into Wiltor. What a little cameo of this first half. Smith. He's got to play it. Parla. Vieira. Oh yeah. Herring back. Lau got the one ball on, really, to Henri. He's stopped in his tracks by Hart and he tries to catch up with Wilcox. Card's going to be out here. Another booking for Arsenal.
That's a tackle of desperation, really. Goes from a long way back. Thierry Henry can't argue that the yellow card is shown. He's late, goes to ground, he's from behind. It's all the things that earn you a yellow card.
What's that, 4 for Arsenal in this first half?
Well, that's your job, I lose count of those things.
Lauren, Keown, Luzhny, Henri. 4-0 in that respect. Well into the one extra minute. Keown. Half-time at Elland Road. Jason Wilcox certainly had the best chance for Leeds United. Not enough power on the header. Sylvain Wiltor snatched at his opportunity. We've got goals to show you from St James's Park in the break. But in this match, at half-time, it's 0-0.
Yes, competitive, but no goals yet. Graham Souness and Nigel Martin with us this afternoon. We will see a goal from St James's Park when we come back, and also we'll be discussing that first 45. Goalless at half-time.
Starting Tuesday, a Worthington Cup double.
No goals. 8 attempts, Leeds United hit the target twice. Wiltord will be looking back and thinking perhaps he should have done. 4 booked from Arsenal. Very competitive, as those figures suggest, but no goals as yet. Nigel Martin and Graham Souness with us here this afternoon. Has been lively at times in there, Nigel, hasn't it? 1 or 2 little challenges flying about.
Yeah, we expect them in these games. You know, it's 2 teams that want to be at the top of the league, and you know, you'd expect that in midfield, and I think both managers would probably demand it.
Would you have wanted someone else with the chance that Jason Wilcox had, the header?
I think if it had fallen to Mark Viduka, we might be 1-0 up. I think probably Jason's probably half looking that the keeper's going to actually come for it and just guide it by him. He hasn't really got the purchase on the ball that he needed.
He thinks he's going to get clattered there. I suppose that's his decision up for him.
Onside, just noticed Tony Adams with his arm in the air, but he was onside.
I've seen that before, haven't we?
No, that's most unusual. At this end here, should Wiltord have done better? Should he have at least hit the target?
Yeah, most definitely. A great run by Silvino. And he has more time. I mean, the goalkeeper does really well. There could easily have been a penalty. That's a great cutback, and he needs someone to tell him he's got time. You know, he's been caught up in the build-up. Doesn't know where he is when he receives the ball, and really he needs a shout from someone that he has got time. He could bring it onto his right foot, give himself a far better angle. But, you know, he's caught up in the play there. Someone needs to speak to him.
What's in your mind as a keeper at that moment when you make that challenge?
Making sure you get the ball without doubt, and taking it cleanly, because if there's a slight doubt, you know, the player's going to go down.
A lot of players there would have waited for the goalkeeper. Maybe a striker in that position would have waited for the goalkeeper and just
dived over your arms.
Yeah,
it does happen, and that's why you've got to take it clean. You know, if it half comes out like that.
Once you've made your mind up, go and get it.
Oh, you have to, yeah. Once you get close to it, you know whether you're going to get there or not. And if you're not, then you've really got to make a big effort in pulling out. Obviously, he's not going to be able to score from where he was, and you don't want to give away a penalty.
Another header, thinking back through that half, for Jonathan Woodgate, close on half-time. It's a nice piece of sustained pressure as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he gets up well there above Tony Adams, and he's unlucky.
He gets up early, and I think Tony's not happy at all. After this, I think he goes over and complains to the referee, because you don't see him being out-muscled on many occasions, do you?
Who's the happier?
Oh, Leeds have had the majority of the play, but it's not a game for the purists, but it is a game that's extremely competitive. It's what, for me, the English Premier League's all about. It's about two teams that don't want to give anything away. They don't want to lose a tackle, they don't want to lose any sort of challenge on the pitch whatsoever, and they're determined not to get beat today, because it's a big game for both of them.
It's finished at Newcastle. We saw Solano score early. We saw Kieran Dyer get their second. Emil Heskey got one back for Liverpool late in that game, but it was all too late, despite the fact that Robbie Fowler had a chance later. It did finish 2-1 to Liverpool. We saw Fowler early on, didn't we, Graham, with a couple of great opportunities, and this one late might have salvaged something. Whoa, just a foot.
That's not as good as the first half one.
And that's the final score at St James's Park, 2-1 there. It is goalless here. We're with Leeds United and Arsenal. Second half comes up next.
Important. Who gets the first goal today?
On an afternoon when Rio Ferdinand joined Leeds United, putting pen to paper. It's time for the second half of Leeds United against Arsenal, a Sky Sports production available in widescreen, Dolby surround sound, and it's interactive for Sky Digital viewers with stats, highlights, full screen camera angles, player cam, and of course Fan Zone. That's on channel 404. Our match commentators, Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. Well, the Arsenal week, remember, started well in the snow on Wednesday, but they ended up feeling the chill in Moscow. What will the second half bring here? For Tony Adams and company, Leeds trying to avoid a hat-trick of home defeats. Shut out by Rio Ferdinand of West Ham last weekend, shot down by Raul and Real Madrid on Wednesday. In fact, that those results have gone against the two sides. I think partly responsible for the shape of the first half. As the lads in the studio were suggesting, no one wanted to give anything away cheaply here. Every ball has been fiercely fought for.
We heard that from Wenger at Goodison, Martin, talking about the importance of the first goal. He felt if his side had gotten it, they'd have gone on and won the game. They didn't. They lost the game, and I think it's very much the same here. I think he feels that it's vitally important that his side get the first goal if we're going to win this.
Perez looking for it now. It's good tracking in the end by Gary Kelly. The clearance from Radibet. Silvinho. Vieira. We're happy to feel the contact and get the free kick. Only looking for it straight away, but Vieira's little clip too high. Henry liked the idea. So if you missed the news earlier, Dennis Bergkamp probably would have played for Arsenal today, but reported for training yesterday, feeling unwell. And, he didn't travel to Yorkshire, and Freddie Ljungberg, who did, went home earlier today because of a migraine. Smith. Up comes Woodgate, who came close to the header in the first half. Just jogging towards the near post. Manning flails an arm at it and really knocked the ball away a good distance, and Arsenal to the right of Will Tor, trying to find some angles for the Frenchman. He was tight against the touchline. Perez. Leeds have rather regrouped, but Arsenal still have the ball with Parler. For Luzhny. Across the face of the goal, and no one quite that far forward.
Well, he holds his arms out, like Luzhny, as if to say, I can't put it in a much better place. It's probably just well, it's a couple of yards too far ahead of everyone else, Mark. It's a decent ball, anything across the 6-yard box. You can see Henry's just a couple of yards too late. Will Tor hasn't caught the play up after being involved down below us here. Just a bit lacking in support play in the box.
Many bread and butter goals, Arsenal, do they? catalogue of Thierry Henry's portfolio of really classy efforts. After just sheer penalty area pressure. Not quite the Arsenal way at the moment. Maybe hasn't been since he sold John Hartson.
They could probably do with a couple of those type of goals, you know, Martin. Yes, to keep them going, just to keep them ticking over. Hasn't happened.
Viduka. It's tidily done by Keown. Henry for Pires. Support on the outside from Silvino. Trying to use him as a decoy and kid Bowyer in. And Leeds had to lock it up through Lucas Radovich. And of course it was Silvino's predecessor who got the winner here last weekend, Nigel Winterburn for West Ham. Henry, but he can't get it back to Will Tour, and made a decent angle off the ball in. D'accord. Now Wilcox. 3 ahead of him. A bit of rustiness would be understandable from Jason Wilcox. Just 2 substitute appearances in the first team this season. One of those back in September, the other last week.
As soon as he started to angle his run infield, Mark, he was making the cross more and more difficult.
It's given away by Will Tour to Smith, and here's Bowyer. Will Tour was prepared to work back and make up for his miscalculation. Adams. Perez challenge from behind. No yellow card for Eric Bakker. All for Leeds United so far today. 4 in the first half against Arsenal. Perez. Oh, really trying to trick Woodgate. He was there. Vieira, contest with D'accord, and then Carlo was concerned about the line of Smith's approach, and here comes Manninger, who is a young goalkeeper with an impulsive nature. And he mopped up effectively then. Kelly. Wilcox. Viduka. Can Hart deliver across here for Leeds? He does. Smith.
That's a free kick, I think. Probably given against Smith on Adams. Yeah. He's looking at the referee. I think he would have given a free kick here. Dermot Gallagher looks at this really closely. You can see Alan Smith all over Tony Adams there. I think if he'd have found his net with that header or that attempt, I think we might have seen a free kick given. 6-yard box.
In fact, the free kick has been given, just where Manninger took the restart from. Radovich. Arsenal won here last season at something of a canter 4-0. Leeds were going through a sticky spell. I think it was their 6th defeat in a row after a wonderful season. Woodgate.
For the first 53 minutes of this match suggests that 1 goal will be enough to win this today, Mark. It's the type of game it's been, and I think that you almost sense that both managers realise that and sets of players. Such as the importance of not giving anything away cheaply.
Smith. Trying to tease a corner out of it, but Arsenal concede only a throw. Bakker. Smith, tricky work. Lucky. Trying to loft it forward for Bowyer. Perez was bowled over then, but Dermot Gallagher letting the game flow, Arsenal retaining possession. It is flowing here. It's been the word perhaps to use about so much of the contest, which has been about closing down and challenging and, as I say, fighting for every ball. But there was a bit of a zip about that Arsenal attack.
And they've started the better of the second half, Martin, the away side. But they still haven't. They've done all right up to the last third, but yet, apart from the one run from Silvino first half, and they almost got through, Old Talk had their best chance. They haven't really put a move together in the last third.
Backer, long of leg, and strong of determination. Backer's cross, in goes Viduka. And he was covered well by Keown, needed to be. Perez. There's Wiltor wrong-footing Lauren, and it's Dacour driving Leeds on this time. Combination of Keown and Parler, and Dermot Gallagher shows the yellow card. It has to be Parler if Keown's not to go off the pitch. It is Parler.
Yeah, I think it's Parler. I mean, this is a decision he's made. I don't think he needs to make this tackle. He's running into Arsenal players. It was very difficult to think where he was going, Olivier Dacour, and the tackle from behind, unnecessary. Invited pressure. It's in Ian Hart's area. I suppose there might be one or two others fancy it.
Well, what it might have done, Andy, is kept Keown on the pitch, because if he'd have lunged and Parler hadn't, and a free kick had been given, Keown could have been off. But it's all academic. It is a free kick. Arsenal still have 11 on the pitch. Ian Hart, the last Premiership Leeds player to score in the Premiership apart from Smith and Viduka. But this is Dacour, pitched in the net, and Olivier Dacour, it's taken a deflection to open the game up here, but it's 1-0 Leeds United.
Well, you're absolutely right, the deflections, the reason that Leeds are 1-up. Goalkeeper's going to his right, and it's a huge deflection. High, looping in there, could not have placed it any better. Olivier Dacour, end of the wall. Laurent is it strikes the number 12 right into the postage stamp, unsavable. But it's a goal that the game's been crying out for.
And it's the first in the colours of Leeds United for Olivier Dacour. His first season here. A couple of years ago, he had a year with Everton and lost twice to Arsenal. Then maybe it'll be different for the combative French midfield player today. And here's Vieira. Wiltor, Henry, winding himself up, and wow, the best chance in the end for that would have been a touch off Wiltor. It flashed past Henry's fellow striker.
Well, they've waited a long time, Leeds fans, to cheer a goal from a midfield player. September, I think, mid-September against Ipswich. Here, Lee Bowyer. So it's a long time coming.
And it's come from a dead ball situation, not from free play. And it came via a deviation off the back of Lauren. But here's Parler, looking to attack from Arsenal's midfield. Played it a little bit early for Perez. In nature, Robert Perez, his father Portuguese, his mother Spanish. He was born in France, the country he represents, born just outside Paris near Reims. He plays now for Arsenal.
He's been most lively of all the Arsenal attackers second half, Martin Perez. Talked about Wiltor, saying this was an opportunity for him to make a mark. He's failed to do so. I think he's been poor today, Sylvain Wiltor.
Leeds this. Arsenal got to start chasing the game a bit, but given away by Vieira to Bowyer. And 5 Arsenal players carrying yellow cards now. And, Leeds United lead by a goal to 0. The last 10 Premiership clashes between these two clubs, Leeds have only won once, and that was a significant victory. late in the 98-99 season, when David O'Leary, who spent 20 years, of course, with Arsenal as a player, saw his side effectively stop Arsenal retaining the championship. Late goal from Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank in that match. Relatively early goal in the second half from Dacour. And that put Leeds on the victory trail against the Gunners again. Silvino. That's where they are so good, Leeds, whether they're playing well or not. The work ethic is tremendous.
This is a test for Arsenal, no doubt about it, Martin. They've got to get on the front foot now, they've got to push forward.
Initially, Silvino was caught there. He collided with Smith, and Viduka looked to capitalise on that. Galloped after it. Earned the corner. Haven't been too many today. All goal-mouth chances, but here comes Bowyer's corner as Leeds look for number 2. And it's Dacour who's already delivered number 1. Back with Bowyer. Too high for Smith. Just too long for Wilcox. It's another corner, though. I think it's surprised at Dermot Gallagher's decision.
I think it's a goal kick. I think everyone thought so, all the players. Luzhny, he was running away. He's pleading his innocence.
Oh, there's a short one on here. Arsenal a bit slow to react. And this is Ian Hart. Hart again! Off the post! It's another corner.
Well, that might have just been game, set and match. Not so sure whether the goalkeeper gets something on this. If he does, it's a magnificent save. It's a little deflection. Perhaps a touch from the goalkeeper. And that combination took it onto the post.
Headed away by Patrick Vieira.
Well, it's a wonderful strike. Ian Hart thinks he's given them. There's a little deflection. There's the touch. What a save from the goalkeeper to keep his team in the football match.
Ian Hart hasn't had much luck against Arsenal here. He was sent off, as I said earlier, in this fixture last season. The previous one, he missed a penalty. Within the millimetres there of really giving Leeds the upper hand in the second half. Now Dacour, there is going to be a Leeds booking here. Silvino just saying there they've shaken hands on it, why bother to book, which is a very sporting effort from him. Dermot Gallagher had made up his mind. Henry has been kept pretty tightly reined in by Leeds. It's a compliment to those at the back who've been troubled by him in the past. And when Henry isn't really firing, where are Arsenal going to get a goal from?
A deflected free kick, maybe?
Yeah. As we mentioned that earlier, Silvino's their second highest scorer, and he's looking to provide there for Parlour.
I just noticed David O'Leary a couple of minutes ago, Martin, on the touchline, just saying to Eric Bakker, they're a bit concerned about Ray Parlour making forward runs. He got through a couple of times.
Well, he flew in Silvino, and he thinks that Bowyer's made a meal of this. But it's going to be yellow card number 6 for Arsene Wenger's team here at Elland Road.
Well, I did say Dermot Gallagher isn't one for pulling out the yellow card very often, but he's certainly been shuffling the pack today, there's no doubt about that. I mean, that's not a tackle for me, let alone a booking.
Evans up a little bit early, but he stayed up. So again, nice kick by Vieira, forced into it by Smith. Kelly. Hart. He saw a man over on the right-hand side and unlucky. Very good vision by Ian Hart, who, as you heard at the start, might not have been playing today if Dominic Matteo had been fully fit. Smith. It's a real test for Arsenal, this, not just because they're a goal behind. Test of the timing of their tackles. More than half the outfield players on that disciplinary tightrope. Lee Bowyer for Sky Digital viewers, channel 404. Player cam. Smith. Manninger with Viduka coming in. Baka coming in, rather. And Baka slower to get up. The goalkeeper did well. Henry. Dribble clearance by Robinson. Here is Viduka. So that run of 8 successive league goals from the Australians been broken as well.
I don't think he'll be too upset with that. He's on the edge of the game most of it. Mark Viduka hasn't really gotten himself involved the way he can do.
He's still feeling this ankle injury, I think, that we saw him come off with at Chelsea. Missed the international against Scotland, although Australia didn't seem to miss him. Watching the Old Firm game today with great interest, Mark Viduka, and he lost some money on it, I can tell you. Side wager with a teammate. Arthur, we've had 20 minutes in the second half in which Olivier Dacour has given Leeds the lead against Arsenal. The most closely contested of fixtures here.
Well, we're at the stage now where really Arsene Wenger has to take a chance, Martin. I mean, he knows his players better than I do, but looking around at the game, I have to say again, Will Torpet's been poor for me. He hasn't really got himself involved. We do have Kanu on the bench, but he will know how good a substitute Kanu is when he comes on. And maybe he's happy to let Wiltord go, knowing that he can just produce a goal out of nothing. And that's what managers get paid for. That's why they sit down there. And take those chances.
Still allowed to sit down there. He's of course appealing against the 12-match ban from the touchline. There's be some news on that to come soon. We just waited to see whether there was any advantage there for Leeds before giving them the free kick. Woodgate's gone forward. There's no holding back for Leeds. They're resting on their laurels. Header away by Vieira. Wiltord. Bounced on by Lauren. Here's Henry. Radaby gets the better of Thierry Henry. He gets involved in the tangle. And he just gets a ticking off. Can't.
Well, it's a trip, and I think he just clips the legs. I think he felt that Dacour was about to make a meal of it, Martin.
Well, he has been booked, of course, Henry, just before half-time. Baka, Viduka, has that dragged back with the sole of the foot so cleverly. This is Jason Wilcox. Now Henry turns and looks at Alex Manninger. He's picked a long way away from Henry. There's no one else up for Arsenal. Vieira. Now Henry against Woodgate. Back comes Kelly. Oh no, still. That's from a very tight angle. Robinson was committed as well.
Well, they almost made a mess of it, Martin. Woodgate, Kelly and Robinson between them. Kelly does brilliantly here to get back in, pace. And you think the chance is gone just about now, but goodness me, they almost make a right pig's ear of it there. Looks to use the right foot. You can see trying to flick it with the outside of the right. It's that kind of day for Thierry Henry.
Luzhny. Rain coming down again. This is Pires. Opted to pass it to Wiltor. Well, Leeds were labouring to get back. Wiltor, not the most inviting of angles, but certainly a sight of goal for Arsenal.
Well, Pires, the instigator of this, has been the brightest, they've said. Might well have been a corner. Could easily have been deflected in by Ian Hart. Beating the goalkeeper and the far post. Maybe that's why he decided to leave him on, Martin, just for that kind of chance.
Viduka. Put forward by It really flew at Alan Smith. Not much chance to do anything with it. Vieira. Lauren. And Parlour. Not getting too much help. Arsenal really playing with the accustomed flow, and that's the way it's been really through the month of November. Arsene Wenger voted the October Manager of the Month, an award that often seems to come with a curse, and one win in 6 in November prior to today, and they're behind at Ellen Road. Arsenal. And Silvino has to tread very carefully. Now, Dermot Gallagher has called the Brazilian across. Is that a prelude to a sending off for Silvino, or just a telling off? Well, it's the latter, but it's a last chance.
Well, you can see him say finished there, but, you know, I think Dermot's made a rod for his own back in a lot of the bookings today. You've got to take conditions. This one probably is a booking. Certainly the first tackle Silvino got booked for was nowhere near a foul, let alone a booking. So perhaps it's evened itself out now. One more, he's off, that's a certainty.
Well, the way things are with the FA Code of Conduct, and Vieira and Woodgate exchanging views here, Arsenal will be fined £25,000 for the tally of bookings today.
Courts.
Bowyer. Now Adams. Easy bounce to deal with. Pires can't control it. Bar of soap. Is England the wettest country in the world?
It has been the last 6 weeks, I think.
It's non-stop. Kanu has to come from the cold of the bench. Dixon shaking her head. About the decision, it's a decision for a throw, not a decision to bring on Kanu. Oh, and Adams has given Smith a chance. Viduka, still Mark Viduka, and Keown kept close enough to the ball to knock it behind for a corner. More pressure on the team that are a goal down, and Leeds finding that attack is a good way to approach the situation, having taken the lead. It's too high for Hart. And this is Parlour. Gary Kelly sprinting across, giving Leeds some insurance until it came to the pass. Pires. Bowyer's got back. Vieira. Here's Silvino. Pires waiting on the edge of the area. That's great tenacity from Dacour when it was much needed for Leeds United. And he'll skip through to Manninger, but he was coming out on the charge and outside the area. Vieira. Dacour had to be careful, he's been booked, remember. Vieira's pass. Wiltor, it's not a great angle. Oh, it's hit the post and come back into play. So it's Arsenal who feel that fortune is against them.
Well, he's hardly been in the game, Sylvain Wiltor, Mark, when he said the 3 best chances that Arsenal have had this afternoon. He's getting closer, just shaved the far post 5 or so minutes ago, struck the right-hand post this time.
Pires comes to Wiltor. Dacour's there again. Silvinho. Henry can have a crack. I don't think it was on the target, it was bounced off of Baka. Lauren, Luzhny. Vieira. And that's a Woodgate on Henry. Now, who's going to come off for Kanu to come on?
Well, I suggest it won't be Wiltor now. That's a certainty. He's had 2 extremely good chances. This one's just a wonderful run and a great ball. Perfectly weighted from Vieira. He's beaten the goalkeeper, all ends up. Cross goal, textbook stuff. Just when you want it to hit the inside of the post and drop in, it hits the face of the post and comes out.
Off comes Lauren, who got that very early yellow card, and that seemed to inhibit his contribution.
Time got on that.
So Kanu hasn't scored in the Premiership so far this season.
No, it's a deflected free kick for Leeds to open the account.
Henry. Well, the deflection might have helped.
Tell you what, it must have been close. He thinks it's very, very close. Oh, that's a wonderful attempt. Goodness me, that's beaten Paul Robinson. That has beaten the young goalkeeper. Foot to the right, and we're sitting at 1-1. Can't believe it.
Henry's in the centre. Woodgate makes sure the ball doesn't reach him. He got a goal from that sort of delivery in this fixture last season, but that was right at the start of a romp for Arsenal. Here they are embroiled in the fiercest of battles, and they're a goal down.
I'm just looking at Kanu, Mark, the way he skipped away, but he's just been holding his right hamstring. He's feeling it.
Well, it was dropping there towards Vieira. Back from Wiltor. And in the end at white rather than red and white. Dacour. Good work by Henry for Arsenal. Silvinho parried away by Robinson. Adams going in, but it's Woodgate, the other number 6, who helps out the goalkeeper. It was a splendid strike from Silvinho. Kanu, on goes Vieira, and splendid is the word again for the defending this time by Radebe.
Well, they've suddenly up to tempo. This is a wonderful strike from Silvinho. We watch the ball move through the air. So all that Robinson can do is just to palm it out. But when he needed a bit of a hand from a defender, my goodness, he got it. But they're just hanging on a bit at the moment, Leeds. This is good sustained pressure from Arsenal.
There's a clever reach by Henry, and then he was impeded by Viduka, all but Alan Smith back in and around that Leeds penalty area for the home side. Leeds nowhere near back the required distance. They need eyes everywhere at the moment. There's all sorts of pushing and shoving and confrontations going on off the ball. And Viduka can only glance it that way, and that means a corner. Best spell of the match. Gallagher again looking at the players rather than the ball coming in. I don't blame him. Dacour. Here's Wilcox, but Keown was already on the sprint, and he has retained all his pace, Martin Keown, at the age of 34. Vieira. Kanu provides a different sort of problem for Leeds United. Tight work and in a tight game. Well, that could make a difference for Arsenal. Kelly.
Well, there's so much going on in there. Little brush of the head there, Vieira and Baca. Referee had a good look at it, thought nothing of it.
Well, Ferdinand praying for victory maybe for his new club. And the manager might have to think about the difficulties of changing a winning team. Next game for Leeds at Leicester. Then Lazio, where of course they're not eligible to play in the next Champions League game.
Over Hart, it's going to skip away. Needs to be a bit better than that.
For Sky Digital viewers, channel 404, Pro Cam for the concluding stages here with Kanu.
Well, as you'll see, Arsenal almost twice the pressure that Leeds have had this half. And that mainly since the goal.
Smith. And Smith again. A limited supply, it must be said, keeping himself in the game.
You can see how Alan Smith annoys centre-backs, both Keown and Adams, right up to the referee, having a word with him on the back of that tackle. So many Arsenal players booked already in the match. And if he's given a free kick, and he has, then the young man's lucky to get away with that tackle.
Yes, he provoked Grimaldi into an unwise retaliation. A match of Highbury between these two. The season before last, Grimaldi got sent off. And he's a spiky young man, Alan Smith. And good enough to be in the last England squad, in 2 England squads this season, although he didn't pitch up in Italy, and he was withdrawn from the party.
Well, he's no respecter of reputations, isn't he?
And as he gets older, he'll learn to use that aggression a little bit more wisely. It's a vital part of his makeup. Vieira's got plenty of aggression of his own, as has Dacour. Smith almost inviting them to come and get him. He's found Bowyer. Viduka turns past Luzhny. Oh, and looked to pass it to Wilcox rather than let rip with a left foot.
Well, I can't believe he's shoved that on. Passed the responsibility away. The goals that man has scored this season.
And here's Parla. And now Wiltor. And again, it's a hot shot for Robinson to have to deal with. Time is ticking away from Arsenal. Remember, at the start of play, Manchester United 8 points clear. And so had the opportunity here to make some inroads into that. Kanu.
No. I mean, you look at the lack of players in the box, man. I think that's the thing about Arsenal. They hardly ever cross the ball. But Mark Viduka moments earlier, well, they get a little bit caught, Arsenal, and Viduka and Akers, and after tucking inside there, it's on his left foot. My goodness, I've never expected Viduka to shove it on one. Thought he would just pull the trigger.
Backer. Dacour. Backer's a little bit lucky that he's got out of the way of that. Has to tuck it back to Robinson, who kicks well with either foot. Vieira. Having several of these players in his wake. And there's all sorts of complaints, first of all, from Leeds, but Vieira's concerned because there was contact there with Dacourt, and Patrick Vieira wants the game stopped. Accidental or worse, maybe the replay will tell us.
There's a lot of bodies here, Martin, get involved, and they both start to tumble to the ground. Oh, goodness me. Well, it's difficult to know if there's any intent or that's just a reaction. He certainly was immediately concerned, Patrick Vieira.
Well, he certainly went to straighten the leg. Whether he knew that Dacourt's head was there, I would suspect not. But again, it's typical of the nature of this contest. It's been absorbing in the physical sense, if you like. It's been absorbing in the importance of it for Leeds to not to get out of the bottom half of the table and get back to where they belong, to get back to the sort of position in the league that they need to reward the sort of investment that's brought Rio Ferdinand here over the past couple of days, and maybe other players to follow, although Peter Ridsdale says nothing definite in the offing. Said that earlier today. Luzhny. Arsenal failed to score at home to Derby. Failed to score at Everton. They've had 85 minutes at Leeds without making a breakthrough. And they're a goal down. Vieira. Silvinho. Pires. Wiltor took that very well. Is the room for the shot? It was maybe on the left foot, but not to check back on the right. Smith gets the drop on Adams. Only got Viduka to work with. Viduka's got to stay onside. Oh, that was a little too tricky for the two front men for Leeds late on.
Well, that chance earlier, Wiltor, Mark, he refused the opportunity to shift it to Kanu. He wasn't particularly pleased. Edge of the box, he'd offered good support.
Silvinho. Henry. Henry! Poked a foot out at it, hit it pretty hard, but it came catchable to Robinson.
No, he's got no option but just to toe poke this. There's no time to do anything else. Under pressure immediately.
Vieira. Henry. Silvinho's attempted cross. Nakor and Woodgate, and now Bowyer.
He's just tried to pull it back, edge of the box. Silvinho, absolutely not a red and white shirt in there.
Arsenal beaten just twice in the league this season, at Sunderland and at Everton. Shimmied out of play by Vieira. But they're, what, 3 minutes plus stoppage time away from another defeat, and Arsene Wenger, not only a defeat, but he hasn't seen his side play with the verve and vivacity that's so often been the trademark from the club that have been the closest challengers to Manchester United, certainly for the last two seasons, and of course the season before that were above them as champions. But it's Leeds, with Mark Viduka forcing a corner.
No, I don't think there's been a lot between the sides. I think Arsene Wenger will argue, maybe with some justification, his team shouldn't be losing this at the moment. But the simple facts are they are. And we're heading for another defeat.
Viduka. Well, it's looking as though the nightmare of November will continue for Arsenal. Just one victory in the month, and that by a contentious penalty against 10-man Middlesbrough. Wilcox. Parler. On from Wiltord, Parler still chasing. He's a lot of big games in the month of November, including playing for England, the only Arsenal representative in Turin. Every misplaced pass will be cheered by the home supporters here. And Arsenal get stopped in their tracks one way or another from getting the ball into Leeds territory. Little nudge on Adams by Smith. Henry. Henry again, quick on return, and Perez can keep it in for Arsenal. Away by Woodgate. Well, Adams got the ball. That was certainly off the ground. Arsene Wenger. It's another yellow card, number 7 for Arsenal. Tony Adams.
The ball's in the air and Tony Adams goes through. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, I have to say. Is he supposed to stop? Maybe people will argue that he caught both.
Much difference on the scoreline, but there's been a huge difference when it comes to the yellow card count. And now, Vieira, he's got to be very, very careful. He was jostling away with an arm. He shakes hands with Smith.
2 minutes, Martin, stoppage time, just been signalled.
Dacour prepared to run down the clock, and Perez, well, that will only help Leeds, because Perez knocked Dacour over. It's a free kick to the home side. A few more seconds pass. Well, it's been a good day, it seems, for the Uniteds. Newcastle United have beaten Liverpool. Leeds United closing in here on 3 points against Arsenal. And smiling at those results, Manchester United.
Oh, absolutely.
Henry. There's Woodgate's challenge. Vieira. Keown. He's a great rescuer, of course, in that Highbury game against Shakhtar Donetsk. Adams is in there as well. This is Perez. Kanu. Away by Wilcox, and Smith's got plenty of space. Oh, and trying to commit Vieira and slide it to Viduka. He ran straight into Patrick Vieira. It's over Adams. Kanu did well. Got Luzhny to the right. Kanu's shot blocked by Radovic. Henry. Well, when they've spent £18 million, this will feel like a win that's worth £18 million for Leeds United.
Yeah, it's a big win.
It's the previous record signing who's done it, Olivier Dacour, in a match of very, very fine margins. Arsenal are having a tough time at the moment, and Dacour's deflected free kick off Lauren adds to their difficulties. Rio Ferdinand knows that he's come to a very competitive club whose league position probably belies their real potential. And after successive home defeats, and despite some complaints maybe to the officials from the Arsenal point of view here, and it has been a very abrasive match. This is a big win for Leeds United, even though, as I say, by the finest of margins. Final score at Elland Road, Leeds United 1, Arsenal 0.
Still to come tonight, here on 1 from 6:30, we've live Spanish football as Deportivo take on Celta Vigo. It's followed at 9 o'clock by all the weekend's goals in Goals on Sunday. There's Australian Open Golf on Sky Sports 2 tonight, and coming up on 3 next, live Masters football from the home internationals. It's followed at 9 by live American football. This week the Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans, and coming up on Sky Sports Extra there's World Cricket Centre at 8:30, highlights of the 4th day of the first test between Australia and the West Indies. So 1-0 to Leeds United. Graham Souness and Nigel Martin have been with us all afternoon. I think Graham taking in some of the sights as we spoke. Decore's goal wanted for Leeds, with highlights from St James's Park to come. All the reaction here, of course, but it's Leeds that have won it. 1-0.